The Spiegel Academy for Music Therapy Continuing Education. Welcome to this video training. I help music therapists and allied health professionals like you to be effective and make a difference in the lives of your clients. We at the Spiegel Academy provide a growing and varied list of online classes to support you in having a stress-free recertification cycle and to enhance your skills so that you maintain high standards of excellence in your professional practice. In this webinar today, you're going to learn 3 guitar tips that can make you more skilled of a guitarist, whether you're playing guitar in music therapy or if you're just enhancing your own guitar skill set. I know that I am guilty of playing the same old strum pattern over and over, the same chord patterns over and over. So I'm kind of in a rut with my own guitar playing. And I am looking forward to taking and studying David's classes. He teaches 3 classes at the Spiegel Academy. One is on tips and tricks for the advancing guitarist. The second one is song introductions and endings. And the third is about rhythm and accompaniment. So I would like to now introduce to you David Pitano, board certified music therapist, who's here to introduce the 3 recordings that I'm going to share with you on this webinar. So David, are you here?
Yes, Deb, thank you. Thanks for having me today. Thanks for sharing the videos. And just a quick little philosophy about my instruction. First of all, my background has led me to this point where I was first, and I characterize it as in my first life, I was a music major, guitar performance major. Then I played professional for many years. Then I went back to school for my music therapy studies. So actually, since I've been 20 years old, I've literally made my living with my guitar in my hand. And something prompted me a few years ago after going to some conferences and being with many professional music therapists. I saw that there was what I thought was kind of a deficit in some of the teaching where a lot of professional music therapists could use to enhance their guitar skills. So that's what prompted me to put this instruction together, and I hope it's beneficial. And one overarching philosophy of my teaching and my instruction lessons is that I like to teach guitar so we can learn how to play as a piano player, as a rehearsal piano player plays. And what I mean by that, if you were going to a rehearsal, a choir, or a theater rehearsal situation where there was a rehearsal pianist there playing for the rehearsal, that pianist typically can play any style of music in any manner and with no shortcuts. And that's how I like to gear my teaching. So the 3 videos that we're going to highlight here, they're just some tips, and there's one from each of my CMTE offerings. The first one we're going to be doing is I'm going to be talking about slowing down. And one thing you'll hear me talk about is very common to, particularly after we've known a song a long time, without even thinking, we get playing it real fast. And that's not good for entertainment purposes, but it's really not good for music therapists trying to make an impact with clients that are challenged. A second video we're going to play here is, as Deb mentioned, rhythm and accompaniment, what we do with our right hand. One of the biggest questions I get from students is to what should I do strumming wise? What should I do with my right hand? How could I be more diverse? And this is one video that talks about right hand strum and accompaniment. And then the third video today is a piece from our introductions and endings group of CMTE videos. So that's a little rundown on the 3 videos we're going to see today, and I'll make some comments in the chat area as they're playing also.
Hi everyone, David Patano here, GuitarPlayLikeAPro.com, and welcome to another clinical considerations video. And this has more to do with music therapy students and professionals, how to consider live music when we're working with, our patients in the clinical setting. And one thing that I've noticed over the years, if you remember me mentioning that I've played music for my whole adult life as a professional, and one thing I've learned over the years, especially playing the guitar as a solo instrument, is that as we get to know songs real well, and particularly when we play them often, before you know it, and without even realizing it, we play songs really fast. And we would pretty much have to record ourselves or see ourselves doing it to even notice it. Again, because we've played the song so many times over the years, and without even thinking about it, it becomes second nature. It's really easy for us to play things fast. And even in an entertainment scenario, you don't want to play things fast because, and again, in my experience, you can always play music too fast, but you can never play music too slow, because slow music, I think, equates to adding emotion to music. But playing stuff real fast, you can call it, it loses its groove, or it feels rushed, those kind of, characterizations. So that's what I'm going to talk about today. And particularly, we want to be conscious of this as music therapists, because so many populations of people we work with playing things too fast. You've heard me talk about in other videos where we want to consider their cognitive comprehension speed, how fast they can pick things up, because whether it's talking or particularly playing music, when that's going by too fast, it becomes real stressful to a challenged individual or patients we work with. So already, the people we work with, they've lost a lot of control, they have feelings of not having control, have a lot of stress they've been under stress for a long time. So the last thing we want to do with our music is to have that be a stressful situation, not to mention they're not going to benefit from music therapy. So my tip today in this clinical considerations video is a way for us to think about accompanying ourselves and being conscious of not playing things too fast. And let me show you something on the whiteboard here. Now what I'm going to explain for us to try is, when we have these songs that we've known for a long time, try breaking them down rhythmically, smaller increments of rhythm when we're tapping our foot. And here we have 4 sets of rhythms. And I'm going to be referring to the song that I opened up the video with, the Battle Hymn of the Republic. So the 4 rhythms I want us to consider as we tap our foot. So I'm going to show us what I mean here, and when you hear claps, that would indicate me tapping my foot while I'm playing. And I'm going to show us what we can do to give us a little tool to help slow us down. So I'm going to count this off and sing the chorus, and I'm going to start with the whole note figure at the top. 1, 2, ready, go. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory. You get the idea. So if I tap my foot on whole notes. Now the next figure below this, I'm going to suggest that we tap our foot on half notes and try that. 1, 2, ready, play. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory. Now the third level down breaks it down even more. And as we have to tap our foot faster with these rhythms at the bottom, it becomes harder to rush, harder to play faster because you literally have to keep time more often and faster. But it works nicely to slow the overall song down by tapping in faster increments. So 1, 2, third, 1. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Now, if I was playing this live, I really wouldn't go down to eighth notes here, but I'm just going to play this and show you this just to make my point. So now I'm breaking it down one more time, so tapping our foot in eighth notes. 1, 2, ready, go. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. And you get the idea. So as I said, I probably wouldn't tap my foot to a song like this in the increment of eighth notes. But again, just to make the point, when you're tapping faster, it'll automatically govern your speed and slow you down. So I want to suggest to you this works good as a mechanism to help slow us down, particularly for songs that we've played a long time. So try it on your own, and let me just go through these real quick with the song. First, I'll play the song tapping my foot with whole notes. 2, ready, go. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory. Now, I'm not strumming on whole notes. Remember, I'm tapping my foot with these rhythms. So let's go to the next one. Half note. 1, 2, ready, play. So, and that's often a typical way that we would tap our foot to a medium speed tune in 4/4. Glory, glory, hallelujah. That's typical. So if I caught myself playing this fast, I might want to tap my foot to the next level, quarter notes. 1, 2, ready, play. Glory, glory, hallelujah. So now let's go to this exaggerated level, eighth notes. 1, 2, ready, go. Now that's even kind of hard to do, but it definitely slowed me down. So there's just a little tip, again, to use breaking down to further rhythms as a mechanism to help us slow us down when we need to, and really be conscious of this with songs that we know, and particularly when we're working with patients who we need to be slow with because of their slow comprehension speed. So we'll see you on our next video. Hello everybody, David Patano here again, guitarplaylikeapro.com. And now we're going to start sinking our teeth into some more specific right hand rhythm patterns. And again, the whole idea is to get us to be thinking about harmonic rhythm, some patterns, but we want to think about patterns that we can apply to many other songs. We don't want to be learning just one pattern for one song and not be able to apply it to other songs. The song I started with, Edelweiss. It's a very, very popular show tune from The Sound of Music, Rodgers and Hammerstein. And that song I use for a lot of different populations, and I would suggest, if you don't know it, that'd be a great song to have in your repertoire. And go to musicnotes.com. You can look at that on my site here to grab that music. And let's talk about that. Edelweiss, if you don't have the music in front of you, or if you don't know it, it's in 3/4 time. 3 beats in a measure, quarter note gets a beat. So it's a waltz. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And as we've been talking about, playing in a pianistic or piano style, we want to think about that and not just play kind of guitar-esque, simple, repetitive strums. What I did there is I'm playing the root on 1, and for a lot of these stylistic rhythm patterns, doing these videos is making me think what I've done over the years to play these songs and what I've thought about. And I'm glad to report a lot of this is not as precise as it even might sound. For instance, I'm going to give you an exercise to play this kind of 3/4 arpeggiated piano style. Now, what I want us to do is let's start counting in our head. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So there's the time. I want us to play the root on 1, and the arpeggio are 1/8 notes. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1. What I want us to do is play the root of the chord, and we have our open G chord. And this is how I want us to simply, in a simple way, think of this, because we don't have to get real precise about this. And I think you'll enjoy learning these kinds of concepts, because you can apply these to so many songs. Play the root on beat 1, and then play the highest note, which is a G of this chord, on the and of 2. So before you get strumming it, or before you get arpeggiating all of it, do this exercise. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and. So I want us to play once again the root on 1 and the highest note on the and of 2. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and. Now, for us to complete the whole arpeggio, again without getting real precise, simply fill in the other 1/8 notes, but keep the root on 1 in the highest note on the and of 2. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3. And it doesn't matter really what notes you play, because on a guitar, if you're fingering the right chord, all the notes are of that chord. The only notes in a G chord triad are G, B, D. So if you're grabbing this chord, be confident in knowing that no matter what notes you play, you're going to be playing a G, a B, or a D, even though some of them are repeated. So once again, here's the exercise. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1. Now fill it in. And 3 and 1 and 2 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 and 3 and 1. So there's our chord. There's our song, I should say. So then you just have to do it with the other chords. So besides the simple exercise of and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and, the only other exercise is apply the arpeggio to all the chords in the song. So the second chord is a D7 chord. So make your D7 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3. There's the exercise. And fill it in. 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and here's the exercise. 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2. Fill it in. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and. Let's say there's a C chord in the song. Here's your exercise. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and. Just remember that the note on the and of 2 is always the highest note on the guitar. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and now fill it in. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and. So there you go. Some simple exercises to apply some arpeggios to songs in 3/4 time.
Girl in your arms is wonderful, wonderful in every way, so they say.
Hi everyone, David Pachano here, guitarplaylikeapro.com. This is another video about endings. And for fun, I've said this before, that old cliche saying, it doesn't matter what you do at the beginning or the middle of a song, all that matters is how you end. Introductions are important, as I've said, but endings are also very important. It's the last thing people hear of a song, it leaves an impression, that kind of thing. And in this video, I want to just share an ending that's common, but it's an easy ending to do, and you can do it with all sorts of songs, and I do it with all sorts of songs. And that is what I did on that opening piece at the video. This is a song, once again, by Irving Berlin from Annie Get Your Gun. They say that falling in love, it's wonderful. It's wonderful, wonderful. And how I ended, I'll just do it again. To hold the girl in your arms is wonderful, wonderful. In every way, so they say. Now here's what I want. And what I meant by that, here's what I want is, I went to the 5 chord, then I walked up single note, 5, 6, 7 of the scale, then 1 chord. So the 5, 6, 7. I'm in the key of C, the 5 being the G, 6 is the A, B is the 7th of the scale. So just practice that. Grab a G chord, and then play the G, open A, then B on the 2nd fret. Let me show you that up close. Here's the G chord. Play G on the 6th string, open A, B, then C chord. And to be musical, I had a retard. I slowed it down as I walked up to finish on the 1 chord, this C. Held that last chord out. So be thoughtful with your endings, be musical with your endings. So that's that song. Let me try it on, that's another song. In the past, in other videos, we've had fun with the simple kind of C, F, and G chord song. Take Me Out to the Ball Game. It's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. So I did a little faster there, so what you want to do before you put it in a song, just practice that. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Then you want to try it in other keys also. Let's try it in the key of D. So D is the 1 chord. A, B, C sharp, D. Let me show you that up close. So here's the D chord. A, B, C sharp, D. A, B, C sharp, D. Remember, we're in position 1, where our first finger is, so every note gets a fret. So we're playing the notes on the 2nd fret with the 2nd finger, the C sharp on the 4th fret with our 4th finger then, because remember, every fret gets a note, so A, B, C sharp, D. And C, D, C once again. And that's just a suggestion, but use those walk-ups with single notes from the 5 chord in with different rhythms, but you hear piano players do that a lot. You know, music recorded arrangements, orchestras, bands do that kind of thing in the arrangements a lot. Remember, we're talking about how can we play like a piano player plays. We want to add thoughtful and musical introductions and endings and these kinds of things. This is just one little suggestion. So practice those kinds of things. Do them repetitively before you put them in songs, and try putting them in various songs and see how you do. So have fun with that ending. We'll see you next time here at GuitarPlayLikeAPro.com.
So they say.
As I mentioned, each one of these videos is from one of the CMTE offerings that we have up on the Spiegel Academy at this time. And I'd like to announce this year, maybe even in the spring, I'm working on another offering for harmony and chords, different quality of chords, to really add to our playing, like I was talking about before, where we can play like a rehearsal pianist plays, so where we can really play songs without shortcuts and using all the harmony and chords that the composer intended. So that's coming up one of these days.
Cool. I would love to hear what you got out of those 3 webinars. Just watching those clips, I learned a lot. I learned about an ending that I could use. I learned a way to do an arpeggio that's not too hard. I could do that. And to slow down, because there's certainly certain people that you would want to slow down for. So thank you, David.
Just want to mention too, if you haven't seen it on Spiegel Academy site or some of my emails where I reach out to other professionals, that ongoing here to make these offerings just, I hope, useful and even appealing, that anybody that purchases one of the CMTE courses gets a free membership to my lesson site. And anybody that purchases any other course from the Spiegel Academy that's not even guitar related gets a 3-month professional membership to my guitar instruction site.
Thank you so much, David. That's quite generous of you. So when you click on the button below, you will be taken to this page right here. And for a limited time, you can get 10% off of one guitar class or 20% off more than one. And there's a discount code for you right there. So there's 3 classes: the guitar rhythm and accompaniment for stylistic playing, guitar song introductions and endings, and guitar tips and tricks for the advancing guitarist. So if you click on any one of them, it's going to take you to this page about that class with all its details. And when you add it to your cart, you'll find that the other two show up too with an additional discount. So there you go. Your next step is to click the button below, get started registering for a class, and take advantage of your free membership to David's guitar website. Thank you so much for being here, and we look forward to seeing you on the other side. Bye.